with Shedeur Sanders absolutely cooking at practice, while Dillon Gabriel melts down like a microwave burrito. And somehow, this team is still fumbling the bag. It's a closed Browns practice, not open to the public, not televised, just reps, drills, and evaluation. Your typical preseason setup. But whispers start leaking, first on Twitter, then in group chats, then in not-so-accidental leaks to insiders. Yo, Shedeur just dropped a dime down the sideline. Back foot, pocket collapsing, toe tap, whole defense froze. Another report comes in. Dillon Gabriel missed 3 straight short throws in 7 on 7S, then airmailed a screen into a linebacker's helmet.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
You can almost feel the tension crackling through Berea like static electricity. Coaches are whispering. Position groups are side-eyeing each other. Some of the veterans, they've seen this movie before. It never ends well, because what's happening isn't just a practice anomaly. It's a narrative shift. And in Cleveland, that kind of shift sends shockwaves through the building. Shedeur Sanders came into this franchise with a target on his back. Late round pick, media sensation, already a Nike darling before taking a single NFL snap. The last thing the Browns wanted was for him to come in and actually start balling. But now he is. And the front office? They look stunned. Because here's the thing about Shedeur. He's not supposed to be this ready. He's not supposed to command the field this early. He's not supposed to look like the most composed quarterback in a room. That include a national title winner and a veteran or 2 collecting checks. But that's exactly what's happening. And suddenly, every coach, scout, and coordinator who thought they had the plan figured out is starting to sweat. Now, let's talk about Dillon Gabriel. Poor guy. He came in hyped. Oklahoma pedigree. Lefty zip. People were calling him sneaky polished. But once the lights came on, even the practice lights, it's been misfire after misfire. You can see the frustration. The footwork sloppy. The timing is off. And worse, the confidence is bleeding. He's overthinking, second-guessing. He's not reacting, he's surviving. Meanwhile, Shedeur, he's calm, smooth, throwing dots like he's been in the league for 3 years, taking command in huddles, talking trash after completions, owning the moment. So why, exactly, is he still splitting reps with Gabriel like it's a 50-50 battle? That's the million-dollar question. Or maybe the multi-million-dollar mistake. Because let's be real, this isn't just about practice performance. This is about organizational fear. The Browns have been here before, dozens of times. A talented young quarterback flashes, shows promise, and the team panics, not because they're unsure, but because they are sure, and it scares them. Because developing a star, that means making a decision. It means committing. It means not hedging your bets with more scouting trips and QB whisper campaigns and mysterious veteran packages. And right now, Cleveland isn't ready to commit to Shedeur Sanders. Let's zoom out. Reports are already surfacing that the Browns front office has been very active on the college scouting circuit. Front row seats at Texas. Eyes on Carson Beck. Whispers about next year's class being deeper. It's not subtle. They're already shopping for quarterbacks like Shedeur, and Gabriel haven't even unpacked their cleats yet. What kind of message does that send? To the players? It's clear you're expendable. To the fans? Don't get too attached. To the league? We have no idea what we're doing. And let's not forget, this isn't new for the Browns. Since 1999, they've run through more quarterbacks than most franchises have Gatorade flavors. They don't develop, they discard. And that's what makes the situation so maddening. Because for once, finally, they might actually have a QB who can grow into something special. Someone with poise, pocket presence, and brand gravity. But instead of building around him, they're already planning his exit. It's like discovering gold in your backyard and then renting a metal detector to go dig somewhere else. And the fans? Oh, they see it. They're not fooled by the GM speak about competition and depth charts. They know when something's off. And right now, it feels off. You can feel the frustration bubbling online. Every practice clip of Shedeur throwing a laser gets clipped, reposted, and followed by 300 comments that all say the same thing. Why isn't this guy starting? And they're right to ask. Because reps are currency in the NFL. And Shedeur, he's not getting enough. Not with the first team. Not with the scripted drives. Not with the urgency you'd expect for someone showing this much upside. Meanwhile, Gabriel is still getting the same amount of work and squandering it. At what point does fair competition become willful ignorance? But let's get real for a second. This isn't just about who throws the prettiest spiral or who has the fastest 40 time. This is about culture. And the Browns' culture? It's cracked, not broken beyond repair, but fractured in all the subtle, insidious ways that derail promising players before they ever get a shot. It's the lack of clarity, the vague feedback, the we're evaluating everything approach that really just means we're afraid to choose. And that fear, it kills development. Players don't thrive in chaos. They thrive in structure, in trust, in being told, you're the guy, we believe in you. Go grow into that. But Cleveland has built a system where QBs are always one bad rep away from being ghosted, where scouting departments are already planning your replacement before your rookie haircut has grown out. And that's what makes this Shedeur situation so dangerous. Not for the Browns' image, but for their future. Because if they blow this, if they fumble a young, poised, dynamic quarterback again, they're not just wasting a draft pick. They're setting fire to their own credibility. And Shedeur, he sees it. He may not say it. He's polished, media trained. He'll smile and say he's focused on getting better every day. But make no mistake, he knows what's going on. You think he doesn't feel the tension in the reps? You think he doesn't hear the whispers about future draft classes? You think he doesn't notice when he throws a perfect drive and the coaches barely react? Of course he does. But here's the thing that makes him dangerous. He doesn't flinch. He just keeps throwing lasers, keeps commanding the huddle, keeps proving every single practice that he's ready. So now the pressure isn't on him. It's on them. The coaches, the scouts, the front office. Are you going to see what's in front of you? Or are you going to repeat the same mistakes that turned your franchise into a punchline? Because Shedeur's not going to wait forever. And if Cleveland keeps messing around with mixed signals and scouting road trips and QB battles that aren't really battles, they might wake up one day and realize their franchise quarterback packed his bags and went somewhere that actually wanted him. This is a turning point. You can feel it. The Browns are standing at the edge of two roads. One leads to yet another lost season. A quarterback room in shambles. A locker room that stopped believing. A fan base that's finally checked out for good. The other? It leads to something real. Something sustainable. A future that starts now. With a young quarterback who's earned his shot. Not because of hype, but because he delivered. So here's the bottom line. Shedeur Sanders destroyed Dillon Gabriel at practice. Period. The tape doesn't lie. The players know it. The coaches feel it. And now, the Browns have a choice. Do what they always do. Or finally break the cycle. Before it's too late. This is where things get interesting. Not because Shedeur Sanders torched Dillon Gabriel at practice again, but because what happens next will tell you everything about who the Cleveland Browns really are. See, in the NFL, practice isn't just about drills. It's not just about installing plays or getting reps in. It's about hierarchy, status, momentum. And right now, Shedeur has all of it. He's won over teammates. He's rattled the depth chart. He's becoming undeniable. And yet, he's still on the outside looking in. Which begs the question, what exactly are the Browns waiting for? A permission slip from the front office? A prophecy from a scout? A spreadsheet from analytics confirming what's playing out in real time? Or, more realistically, are they just afraid? Because that's the unspoken truth behind all of this. Fear. The Browns don't know how to handle a good thing. They don't trust themselves to recognize when it's finally right in front of them. So instead of leaning in, they hesitate. Instead of building around Shedeur, they build an exit strategy. And instead of making a move, they stall in true Browns fashion. Let's be clear, this isn't about disrespecting Dillon Gabriel. He's not a villain. He's a rookie trying to find his footing in a chaotic system that would break most players. But the truth is, this job doesn't belong to him right now. Not based on what we've seen. Not based on anything real. And the longer the Browns pretend this is an even competition, the more they risk creating an unfixable fracture. Not just between the quarterbacks, but between the team and the truth. Because players, they always know. And right now, they're watching Shedeur run the show at practice, only to be shuffled back down the depth chart like it never happened. That kills locker rooms. That drains trust. That sends a message louder than any speech from the head coach. Performance doesn't matter here. Politics do. And that's where things start to get toxic. Now, let's talk about the front office again. Because this isn't just bad quarterback management. It's a full-blown identity crisis. You've got scouts at SEC games. GMs whispering to insiders about next year's class. 2 first-round picks in their back pocket, like escape hatches. It's not a quarterback room. It's a chessboard. And Shedeur? He's the knight. No one expected to make it past midfield. And that's the problem. The Browns didn't plan for him to be good this fast. They weren't ready. They had a script. Draft Shedeur late. Treat him like a project. Maybe flip him later. Something safe. Something controlled. But now, he's blowing that script to pieces. He's outperforming expectations before they even pulled the trigger on their plan B. And instead of leaning in, they're panicking. Because the front office doesn't know how to pivot when someone over-delivers. They only know how to spin. And so, instead of rallying around Shedeur, they're quietly undermining him, pretending the scouting trips are routine, acting like performance gap in practice is contextual, throwing around buzzwords like raw and system fit, while he's out there running circles around their golden boy. It's not just insulting, it's self-sabotage, because this could have been their moment. Their clean break from the cursed QB carousel. Their signal to the league that the Browns finally get it. Instead, it's deja vu. Again, and let's not forget the fans. Because Cleveland fans aren't dumb. They know dysfunction when they see it. They've lived through more false starts and broken promises than most fan bases can imagine. You don't have to tell them what it looks like when the team is about to screw up again. They can feel it in their bones. They see Shedeur make the throw. They see the chemistry with the receivers. They see the offense clicking, finally clicking, and then they hear the coaches mumble something about more reps needed for evaluation. They know what that means. It means he's being benched politically, not because he failed. It means they're trying to talk themselves out of the right decision. And they're sick of it. But here's where the story twists again. Because Shedeur Sanders, he's not playing their game. He's not complaining to the media. He's not throwing shade on social. He's not walking off the field with an attitude. He's walking back to the huddle, fixing his visor, and torching the defense on the very next snap. He's letting the film speak. He's betting on the one thing Cleveland can't spin: results. And when a guy puts that much pressure on the franchise just by doing his job better than expected, you don't have a QB battle. You have a reckoning. Here's what happens next. At some point, Kevin Stefanski is going to have to look the team in the eye and explain why their best quarterback isn't getting the shot he's earned. Why Dillon Gabriel, despite back-to-back shaky weeks, is still in the rotation. Why the front office is already checking out of the season before it starts. He's going to have to explain that, and it's not going to go well. Because every rep they steal from Shedeur at this point, it's not development, it's denial. And that denial is going to cost them. Maybe not today, maybe not even this season. But eventually, they'll look back and realize this was a turning point. This was the moment they could have changed the story, could have flipped the script, could have let the kid lead. But they didn't. They waited, they hedged, they scouted someone else. And by the time they realized what they had, he was already gone. Because here's the thing people don't get about Shedeur Sanders. He doesn't need the Browns. He doesn't need any team that's going to treat him like a plan B with a side of merch sales. He's not some grateful late rounder, just happy to be here. He's a quarterback with leverage, brand leverage, media leverage, culture leverage. He can leave and still win. You can't say that about many rookies, but with Shedeur, it's reality. And the Browns? They're staring down the barrel of that reality right now and still pretending like they've got time. They don't. So this is the moment, the fork in the road. Shedeur Sanders has given them every reason to believe. He's earned the shot.